Rangers got their first win of the Scottish Premiership season yesterday as they beat Livingston at home 4-0. In today's video, we'll take a look at Michael Beale's reaction from the game, whilst also going over all the latest Rangers news from the last 24 hours. There is so much to cover in today's video. And hello everybody, welcome back to the channel guys. I hope you're all well. Before we do get into today's video, as always, please do smash that like button and subscribe to the channel for daily Rangers content. Kenny Miller has floated the idea that Rangers should go after Martin Boyle before the end of the transfer window. The former Rangers striker wants to see Michael Beale bringing in the Hibs attacker as another option in the forward areas. Fashion Sakala was sold to the Saudi Pro League last week, and Miller believes the Light Blues now lack an out-and-out pacey wide player. With Ryan Kent's summer departure also taken into account, Miller would love to see Boyle drafted in at Ibrox. He wrote in the Daily Record, "Michael Beale might have already signed 9 new players for Rangers this summer, but there's still something missing at Ibrox. And this isn't a knee-jerk overreaction to a poor defeat at Kilmarnock on the opening day of the league season, or to a pretty slow pedestrian last hour against a 10-man Servette in midweek. No, I've been talking about it from Michael's first spell at the club under Steven Gerrard. We know that as coaches, they both like their wide players to play narrow and inside the pitch, but sometimes you need a plan B. Your squad is your armoury, you need different players for different things. That's why I think Michael will be looking to get a quick, direct wide player in before the transfer window shuts, as well as another centre-back. But before Rangers close for business, and especially after letting Fashion Sakala go, I'd like to see another attacker in, and they don't have to look too far as a potential solution. For me, Rangers should be looking at Martin Boyle from Hibernian. He would give Beale something he doesn't already have. Boyle can play infield if necessary, he's done that Easter Road often enough playing off a striker, but crucially, he's danger out wide and commits to defenders. He can beat players and puts opposition teams on the back foot. In Rangers' first couple of games this season, that's what we've been lacking. I felt it for a long time. Guys like Joe Aribo, Scott Arfield, or other players in that position. It wasn't their natural game to stretch teams. To do that, you need someone with pace, clever movement, and good dribbling ability, and the player with those abilities in our league is Boyle. For the last few years, Rangers obviously had Ryan Kent. He's gifted, a technical player, but we all know his numbers weren't good enough. Boyle might not be as technical as Kent, but one thing for sure, in the Premiership he's effective. He can dribble, he's fast, his movement is excellent, and he's hungry to score. In the last 30 years, a key part of Rangers and Celtic's recruitment had been to take the best players from the smaller clubs in Scotland. So his obvious option for Beale, maybe his name has been mentioned already inside Ibrox, because Beale would add something new to his armoury. Sam Lammers, Kieran Dow, Todd Cantwell, Tom Lawrence, even Danilo, none will want to play out wide. They want to be central. There's not a natural number 7 or number 11 in Michael Beale's squad. Boyle would give him that. He'd give Rangers a real penetration and running power. Listen, if plan A is working and combinations are clean and slick, that's fine. If Rangers are creating chances and scoring, playing a certain way, great, but in Pacific games when it isn't, you need something different. Signing Boyle or a player with his attributes and offers a different threat wouldn't be a bad thing for Rangers. Boyle was proven in this league. In fact, he's terrorised Rangers before. Remember that League Cup semi-final when he got a hat-trick? He was electric. Just a quick one guys before we get into today's video, we have dropped our brand new August collection. We've got the Surrender or You'll Die BB t-shirts, along with the Glasgow Rangers Union Jack tees. If you want to shop the new collection, go down into the link in the description, or go to rfcclothing.com. Anyway, let's get into today's video. Hearts is the perfect loan destination for Rangers youngster Alex Lowry. Speaking exclusively to Football Insider, former Rangers defender Alan Hutton insisted Lowry won't get a chance in the first team at Ibrox this season, but thinks Tynecastle is the best place for him to improve this season. On the 4th of August, Rangers confirmed that the 20-year-old had joined Hearts on loan for the 2023-2024 campaign. The midfielder's current contract at Ibrox runs until 2024 after he signed an extension last summer. Lowry has made 14 appearances for the first team and has notched 2 goals and 2 assists in those outings. 7 of those senior cameos came last term, where he was in the starting lineup for just 1 game. Hutton insisted that Rangers have chosen the perfect club for Lowry's development. He said, "I do not think he was getting to get the opportunity at Rangers he would want this season, especially with the incomings, it was going to be difficult. He is at an age where he can get out for experience first team football elsewhere on loan with a view to come back. Hearts play attractive football and ultimately they go for European football and try to be number 3 in the league. I think it is a good fit, it's not too far from home as well, so it ticks all the boxes for him. I think this could be a good opportunity. If he works hard, then he can certainly progress. Michael Beale was delighted to see some of his new signings getting off the mark for Rangers following a huge week for the club. Sam Lammers, Danilo, Zimmer and Kieran Dowell all found the back of the net for Rangers as they eased past Livingston in the Scottish Premiership. The weekend's goal scorers were coupled striker Cyril Dessers getting off the mark in midweek against Servette, and Beale believes that the new signings are beginning to show their worth. He explained, hugely important, I think this week they have ridden every emotion, and for 4 or 5 boys to score their first goal this week, that will give them a wealth of good. Also Jack Butland getting his first clean sheet, Dujon Sterling making his debut. I thought Cifuentes was probably the pick of the players today alongside John Souttar. Overall, I think it has been a big eye-opener for them as a week, and as a team we have shown every bit of everything. On the game itself, Beale added, I think the game was in 3 parts really. The first part was really good, we get 1-0 up and then we get 2-0 but the VAR goes against us. I have no problem with that, but I thought after it was a bit slow and sticky, and Livingston reduced the spaces and the second half started like that as well. I did get a bit nervy in the stadium, but I thought the changes had made a big impact, and there were a lot of positives by the end of it. We were wasteful in the middle part of the game, we were in a good position, but our final decisions were really poor. But in the final part of the match, we got back, and I think a lot of that was down to Zimmer and Matondo coming off of the bench. Former Rangers boss Giovanni van Bronckhorst has revealed he has turned down job offers from mega-rich clubs in Saudi Arabia because he only wants to manage in Europe. The Dutch coach was sacked from Rangers last November after falling 9 points behind Celtic and a disastrous Champions League campaign that was set an unwanted record after 6 defeats. But he led Rangers to Europa League final and won the Scottish Cup in the previous campaign. Van Bronckhorst admits he's had plenty of job offers since leaving Rangers and wants to return to coaching, but he isn't interested in joining the footballing exodus to Saudi Arabia. He said, my intention is to return to management. I've had a few months of rest and it was nice to be home, but in the future I'd like to be back on the front line. There have been a lot of interested clubs in Saudi Arabia, but I prefer to stay in Europe. It's great to be involved in football, especially in a big league. That's my presence. Unwanted ex-Rangers striker Alfredo Morelos is negotiating with a number of clubs in Russia to relaunch his career, according to his agent. The Colombian hitman is still without a club despite being available on a pre-contract since January and as a free agent since leaving Rangers at the end of the season. He maintained last month that he was searching for a club at a top European league and insisted he wasn't concerned about not getting a club just yet. Despite reported interest from clubs in Spain, Turkey and England, he remains unemployed and could now move to Russia, where he was previously linked with a move to Spartak Moscow in June. His agent, Martin Boyle, said, I am negotiating with several top clubs from Russia who are interested in signing Alfredo Morelos. There is a very strong championship in Russia, which Alfredo looks at with great admiration. Morelos, who spent 6 years at Ibrox, who scored 124 goals for Rangers, would have plenty of time to make a decision. The transfer window in Russia remains open until September 14th. Rangers fans, what do you make of Kenny Miller stating that we should sign Martin Boyle? And would you agree with that? And what have you made to our start of the season? Let me know your thoughts down there in the comment section below. That brings us to the end of today's video. As always, please do smash that like button and subscribe to the channel for daily Rangers content. Remember, we do have Rangers t-shirts available on our website, so do browse the new collection by going down into the link in the description or go to rfcclothing.com. Thank you, and I'll see you all next time. Take care. Peace.